Hello, everybody. I'm Steve Peterson.
And I'm Jack Hinkle.
And I'm going to cough. Classic. We are here, Chops. We're here on Chops podcast to talk about knowing your students, knowing your content, and knowing your teaching. Welcome back, Jack Hinkle. You're in year 10. 9. Jack is in year 9.
And Steve is in year... Wait, I can do this. 98 was year 1 for you. No. Year 1 here. Year 5? 20. No, I can't do math that fast. 32?
This is my 32nd year.
Oh, let's go. Okay.
Yeah, all right.
So between us, 41 years.
Dude.
That's a lot of years.
So how was the first couple days of school, Jack?
Honestly, it was like a blast. It was a total blast.
It's a blast.
I'm having a great time. I was like the most excited I've ever been Tuesday night before
Because
school year.
I left?
Exactly, 100%.
So why is that? Why you were so excited?
Well, I had a little different schedule, a little different classes, and I know like all of the kids that I had in my schedule. Like I could see my rosters. I'm like, I know all these guys. Like this is going to be fun.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. And it has been pretty fun.
And so real quick, go through your schedule.
I teach Jazz 2. I teach AP Music Theory, class piano, Jazz 1, marching band. That's it right now.
Gotcha.
That's it. It's been a really fun time.
So that's 5 different preps, as we say, like no repeat classes.
Right?
Piano class you have taught for many years, and you kind of had the flow of that down.
I've joked that like if I woke up in the middle of a night and someone's like, you got 5 minutes, you got to prepare a 50-minute piano lesson, I'd be fine. Right? You know that game.
Yeah.
I've thought about that. But the other class is more prep. Marching band kind of seems like one continuous thing, so there's not as much prep, but you're always thinking about it. Right.
And you're doing it outside of school.
You're doing it outside of school. It's all continuous. So, yeah, it's been a good time. So that's been my start, and we're on the 4th day of school today. It was the first Monday of the year.
Yep.
And then Steve has been at the Move Up Academy, and we just talked about it for like probably 40 minutes about his experience. So, Steve, how's been the first couple days for you?
Okay, so I teach in this space called the Move Up Academy.
Which is ironically in the basement.
Which is, it's like move down. It's called the Move Up Academy, and I am a teacher in the program called Aspire Academy, which is Concord High School's alternative school. So the students that I get to work with every day either have a morning slot for 3 hours or an afternoon slot for 3 hours. They're working through online school called Edmentum, but we'll talk more about this in the future, but it's students that have been invited to be a part of that program for a variety of different reasons. And so my job is to develop a relationship with them, encourage them to be a positive part of school, and to help them get caught up on credits. So that's it in a nutshell, but it's great. Like, it's always great the first day of school meeting kids. I know you said you didn't have that many new kids to meet, but like all those 90% of these kids were new, and it was kind of fun just like looking at their pictures and, and trying to figure it out who is who and just making some kind of connection and some kind of small talk and just, because I was new too, and I teach with another teacher and a paraprofessional. So it's basically 3 teachers in the room at a time, and we also have an administrative assistant. But teaching no music, but it's all the core subjects and electives aside from music. So it's pretty cool. It's a wonderful space to use. It's a flexible academic seating area, but it's there are some incredible students coming through there, and everybody has their own story, and everybody's trying to figure it out, and teachers included. So I would say overall it's been a good vibe. It's positive and at times fun or funny, and I need to get better on chemistry and physics.
Long-time and short-time Chops listeners will know that this kind of role for Steve is a very good fit. Steve always talks about his relationship building as kind of his pinnacle of his teaching experience with him and his kids. And he's going to have a lot of success working with these kids, and it'll be fun to hear the stories that you have in these building relationships, 1 month, 6 months at the end of the year.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be fun to listen
It
to.
would be. Yeah. So it's a total change of pace. And, but, Jack, we're kind of doing the same thing.
What's that?
Well, we're meeting kids where they are, helping them come in contact with positive relationships in the school, and then helping them have meaningful relationships with the content that they're having and some level of mastery.
It's the same game.
Right? It is the same game.
You're used to using Edmentum. That's
Exactly,
your vehicle, right?
Exactly, right. And
Yeah.
so that's where we are. So we thought today we could talk about a concept called "Don't Take the Bait." And this was brought up. Jack and I talked about this last spring.
I think we did.
And
I think we did.
I think we were on stage when
Oh, yeah. I remember this day.
we were setting
Yeah,
up chairs
yeah,
or
yeah.
something.
Yeah,
And
it was like the week of
ISMA.
ISMA state qualifiers.
And I can't. And
I can remember exactly what happened. Yeah.
can you give us like a PG view of like a non-personal view?
Oh,
of
yeah.
what happened?
Yeah, and nothing was bad.
No.
But I think it was the week before state qualifiers, so pretty important week because some weeks are more important than others when you choose which week of the calendar you're in.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, there were a bunch of kids leaving and they had passes. This is what it was, right? Was it a half day?
I'm sure
It probably was a half day because half day means no day for some some students in here. But a lot of them had passes to leave, and they just started dropping like flies. I mean, it's pretty normal to have a kid or two kids leave the class, but for whatever reason that day, it was probably in the double digits. and Steve's like, Jack, he's like pulling me aside, and then right before rehearsal, he's like, Jack, don't let me.
Well, I remember. Okay.
Or was that it was after you
No,
talked
it was
to me.
after
Yeah,
because
not
like
before.
during class, student A is like, here's a pass. Student B, here's a pass. And student C, I was like, okay, what's going on here? And then I got to student down the road, and then I finally said something like out loud on the podium, like, where are you going?
Yes.
And the student said,
I have a pass.
I have a
right?
pass. And I said, where are you going? What are you doing? I have a pass to leave. What's it for? I just have a pass to leave. And so as I found out later, she had a legit reason to go.
Yeah.
And bottom line, it was none of my business. It was legit. But I apologized to that student later in the week because that wasn't my role at the time. But
Well, and she apologized too, didn't she?
she did. It was totally cool.
That was great.
It was fine. But the moral of the story was, we talked about afterwards, was things are gonna happen as we're getting ready for a performance, and a student may become sick, or a student may be tardy, or a student may become suspended, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Or a student may have to work at Culver's and arrive to night rehearsal 30 minutes late. Like I said, I'm not going to take the bait the rest of the school year.
Yeah.
And meaning of just like kind of trying to die in every hill.
And especially ones you have no control over.
Things that you have no control of, like where parents are involved, where administration is involved, where the schedule is involved of the school day.
It's a recipe for hurt and
Right.
pain.
Trying to change something you have no control over.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm not taking the bait. And I think for the most part, I don't think Jack usually takes the bait. I think you're pretty good at that. I hope that's also at a personal level, not just a public level.
At a professional level.
Yeah.
I would think so.
I mean like internal, like you don't take the, like you don't.
Oh, I don't
about
stew about it. No, I choose not to. There are days I want to. I think this is a really important topic for the beginning of the year, right? Because kids are going to start testing you as a teacher, assuming you're a teacher listener, right? That they're going to start testing you and see like where your boundary lies.
Right.
And how close can they get up to that line before they cross it, before you choose to do anything. You gave a very like holistic version of taking the bait where the kid wasn't like messing around or doing anything wrong.
Nope.
Right. I would say most
Right.
bait taking situations are more trite and mildly humorous. Can we do like a live like role play student teacher here?
Yeah.
Do you want to which one you want? Which one would you be funnier with? This is all about your humor level because you're the funny guy. I'm the straight guy on the podcast. You're the funny guy.
Hey, funny guy. Hey, funny guy.
All right, you teacher or you student? Bro, there's only 2 roles. Just pick one. Just pick one.
Student.
Okay, I'll be the teacher. Okay, I'll do.
Well, obviously, if I chose student, you are
See,
teacher.
this is why you're the funny guy,
Okay, there you
dude. That's
go.
great. Good for
Thanks,
you.
Jack.
Okay, I'll do taking bait first.
Okay.
Okay, give me something. Or no, I got to give you something. Okay.
No, wait.
Okay. Steve, can you take your hood down, please? Steve, can you take your hood down, please? Okay, look
What?
how this is how it's going to go. Okay, this is what we're doing. You're either going to take that hood off, or I'm going to kick you out of this class so fast you won't even know where your hoodie went. What do you want?
What?
Okay, get out. That's it. Get out of my class. I don't know who you think you are to be able to do that. I'm already calling administration.
Okay, and you're calling administration, and then the administrator is going to the child saying, "What'd you do?" I'll go, "Nothing."
Yeah, which is actually true.
I don't care. I have my hood up. I don't care. I don't care. I don't have to do what he says. He's not my dad. Right? Wouldn't that be it?
Yeah. Yeah, and when administration comes talk to me, they'll say, "What happened?" Well, I just told him to take his hood off, and he just wouldn't do it. I don't know what kind of school we're running over here, but it ain't one I want to be a part of.
It's not what I was looking for.
It's not it. Kids these days, man, the screenagers. That's what it will get. And you just look stupid. You just look stupid. Okay, wait. Can you put your hood on for this one? Make it real. Okay. So then, this is how. This is how I would go about it, and I know you would do your own separate thing. Okay, I'll try to be me this time. Steve, can you take your hood off? Okay, all right. We got Darth Peterson under here. All right, we're gonna go for the Force. Ready?
Okay.
Oh, it's not working. It's still not working. I'm trying to use the Force. Can you help a brother out? I always want to be a Jedi as a kid.
What?
I'm just trying to be like a silly guy. Can you take your hood off, please? It's just a school policy. I don't really. It's a thing. Thanks, man. I thought you were putting. That's how I would do it. And most of that was actually a really good, authentic response. You're like, what? I'm just like,
And no response.
and no response first. Yeah. That's usually how it goes.
Right.
And so Again, I'm making this up on the spot,
Right.
which is how most of my
Teaching goes.
classroom management
Yeah.
goes, right? It's
Right.
like you just do something a little bit sideways, give the kid a chance to figure out or play along with what you're doing. I chose the Star Wars route because Darth is associated with hoods. I don't know. So that's what came to mind, right? And again, that's a pretty calm one because Steve wasn't dropping swear words at me or being defiant,
Right.
just a little slow to the uptake, right?
So it would be like it's not escalated yet, but it could be, but it's like de-escalation.
Pre-de-escalation.
Right.
Yeah. Because I think we have to assume that when kids are doing that, it's pretty rare that they're choosing to be defiant purposely.
Right.
Maybe they want to wear their hood, but they're not trying to fight with you. I think that happens sometimes with kids that they're looking for like an altercation with the teacher,
Right.
but that's very rare.
Right.
And kids might be grumpy about taking their hood off, but it's never like I've never had to go more than like one step with a kid. Maybe that's lucky, but
Yeah. But you also approached it with a student, I'm sure, with a sense of humanness to it, and say, maybe get down at their level.
Yeah.
Well, you're coddling the students. Well, we don't want to make a big deal about a hood on and blow up the culture of the class from some little trick. So you call it what you want, but use the tools that you have. And if you can use a little of humor, distraction, non-threatening tone to get the desired results, I mean, that's a win.
I think there's like two philosophies, like two schools of thought. You can either be, and this isn't like one or the other, but it's like a spectrum. You're either on like the drill sergeant end or you're on the opposite end. I don't know what that label would be. But it seems like young teachers are taught or are told that they need to skew more to the drill sergeant.
Yes.
For sake of, quote, authority. Or they're either told, well, you just need to build more relationships with kids. You just need to do more relationship, but like that's all that's left. That's like the buzzword, right? It's relationship building. Which there's truth to both at some point, but I think the real sweet spot is doing something that works for you and you creating an environment that you want to be a part of.
You create an environment in the classroom that you want to be a part of and the students want to be a part of.
Exactly.
Right?
Right.
Right. I think that's a really good point about first year or just teachers that are struggling to find their identity.
Yeah.
Trying to find that authoritarian voice, and they think it's through like force. And for some people, I guess that works. That's kind of like how you are. And that's like honestly who you are, I guess, go. As long as it's, not mistreating somebody. But I think it's so easy to get into a power struggle with humans of any age. I mean, it's so easy. It's there for the picking all the time to like try to trigger somebody to get into it with them. And that, like, I'll just use the word softer side or more creative side or non-confrontational side is not used in the public eye that much. And social media.
Yes.
But I'm thinking of other voices in my head like, well, you're just tell the kids to take off their hood. And if they don't take off their hood, then there should be consequences. Yes, but yes, that's true. And I want my students to come back to class and not be out of my class. So not necessarily getting them to ISS the first day of school. That's not really the goal because they're out of your class. You want to keep them in your class and try to get some kind of foothold in a positive way with relationships. So there's something a little there. And at least it's like what Jack did with the Darth, the Sith Lord, like a little bit of sense of humor. It's a little distraction, maybe a little confusing, but just instead of just being so blunt with it where it seems like a power struggle.
Right. The power, if you find yourself in a power struggle, stop. Stop. Because nothing good's going to come out of it.
Right.
Right. And as a teacher, that's typically not your job. I mean, if it gets to that point, usually they say get administration involved. It's best if you don't. It's best if you take care of it.
Right.
But that's where the creativity really needs to come into play.
Right.
And, I'm thinking about all these situations that can happen, right? Like if you think of your day-to-day reasons you could take bait, like dress code, obviously that's one. Language, right? failure to have the correct equipment, i.e. charge devices.
Right.
Dude, that's a dumb one to fall into because there's nothing the kid can do about it unless you have a charger.
Right.
Where's your iPad? It's dead. Well, why didn't you charge it? Like it doesn't matter at that point. Right? And trying to find the ways to pick and choose or beat them to the punch.
Right.
Right. Having the I had an example. Pencil, charger, like all that stuff. If a kid can't participate, easiest solution is just have some with you.
Yes.
Right. And I know that seems like a no-brainer, but the kids can't say I don't have it or whatever. Like you hook them up.
Well, shouldn't the kids bring their own pencils to school, Jack?
Yes. And if we ran a school with 0 pencils, our success rate would
Go down.
go down and reflect that. I don't know how to do this one in a like role play, but I think the hardest one, like you didn't give me attitude, you gave me apathy.
Yep.
I think it would be harder to do attitude. I don't know if we should role play that one, but I do think it's harder for teachers to respond to the student escalating for a few reasons. One, I don't know about you, but I start to feel a little nervous in here.
Oh, definitely.
Because you're improvising.
Yeah.
You are improvising based on what they say, and you're creating a script in your head. You're knowing they're getting angry. You don't know who else is watching or who else is around, and you don't know if it's going to stop right away and everything's fine or if it gets completely out of control.
I think that's all very true. And you know that, well, we've both been in situations.
Yeah.
That hood scenario that you just brought up.
Yeah.
Had that. I mean, it's happened to all of us.
Sure.
Take the hood down and, but the hood situation, please take your hood down. Ended up in a student being escorted out of class by an administrator from that thing.
I'm sorry I'm laughing, but
I
it's
know,
real.
But
it's real.
And it was calm from my point because it was met with like really vulgar language, disrespect, and it was like out of control. And I just kept on saying, "You sure you want to do this? I'm just asking you to take your hood off and sit in a chair." Okay, so what's going to happen next is I'll call an administrator. They'll come down and they'll take you, and it just, the words kept on coming and the profanity kept on coming, and there's like a room of 25 students.
You have no choice.
No choice. And there's no way on God's green earth that I would like go after a student like that and just be like, you don't know who you're messing with. There is no way, because that has no place in that for Steve Peterson.
No.
Because that's not my gig. I'm not going to beat you with machismo, okay? I'm not. Got it. Good. You want to be tough guy? Good. You win today. But that's not my game, and it's like it's diminishing returns. It's like hugely diminishing returns. So I never saw that student again. The student also had some other things, obviously going on that made him feel like that. But just like, going back to the topic of don't take the bait. Like we use that kind of as a mantra, like to get through the end of the year, kind of when you feel like your stress level, your fatigue level is high, and it seems like things, maybe common occurrences maybe seem more difficult because you're fatigued.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, and we've talked about this before on the podcast that it's not fair to students if they make a choice or do a behavior, as we say, and we respond to it one way one day. They do the same thing and we respond to it another way a different day. That's not fair to the kids, and we're not doing our jobs well. I can think of, well, before I say that, let me preface this with what we're talking about is not like lowering your expectations or removing your standards. We're saying you should implement them in a different way than maybe what's most straightforward. If you can find ways that are creative to help reach the same objective, i.e. taking the hood off, that's met with less resistance, but you have to work harder to find that, I think it's worth it. Because your goal is you're just trying to help the kid. I mean, you got to do whatever it is, whether that's a pencil or the hood or whatever.
Right.
You got to get them to where they need to be. But finding the path of least resistance for the kid to help them reach that point is kind of our job.
Right.
I can think back. This is something that I wish I would have handled differently, if I may share a failure moment.
Your trumpet solo your senior year?
Yeah, which one of those are we going to roast? All of them? Sounds good.
That was horrible. I'm sorry, Jack.
The solo was horrible? Yeah, thanks, buddy. We know.
Oh, buddy. You're a good trumpet player.
I did not handle swearing well as an early teacher.
Like you didn't use it very much?
Yeah, I wish I would have used it more. No, when kids use poor language, I took the bait and I got totally after them. Now, do I tolerate vulgar language in my classes? No. But I probably escalated and was pulling all right, don't use that word again. Don't do it. We're going to stop that, okay? Stop. No, like teaching.
Here?
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't want that to happen. So I was like doing this. And I was teaching how I thought I should be teaching, not how I should have just let myself roll.
Yeah.
But I got like drill sergeant about that.
Yes.
And
you're not drill sergeant.
I'm not drill sergeant. And I can remember a specific student that I know if ninth year Jack went back and worked with, it would be so much more successful than third year Jack. And this was third year. I had 2 years under my belt and I was still making this mistake. And I like was very drill sergeant about it. And I was like, nope, we're going to stop. Not again. Stop. Whereas like now I would try a totally different approach.
Yep.
Totally different approach. More lighthearted, but still trying to get the same result because I'm not changing the expectation. Because I thought back then like it was more malicious than it is. And sometimes I just think kids can't help themselves.
I agree with you. They can't help themselves. Well, what do you mean, Steve? Kids just need to speak like they're in school, not like they're, whatever. But then I was just going to say like they're at home. And then I was like, that's where it comes from.
Yep, and they're at home.
And if that's the family's vernacular, shocking that it ends up in the classroom.
Right.
And I'm not making a judgment saying you're a pitiful person because there's a couple. Well, yeah, there's a couple non-negotiable words that probably will get a little bit more attention than others, but still, you don't need to take the bait and just right.
What we started to do, I don't know how this happened, but anytime it's just like in a hallway, like I'm just using that scenario.
Yeah.
Don't be in a hallway if you want to hear clean words. That's a bad place.
No.
But if there's like a pile of like directors around, like what we would do in the past, kids would just be walking around throwing those out, and we go, whoa, 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 hey. We do one of those.
We've done also like, hey, okay, run it back.
Run it back. Try it again. Take two, go. One I started doing is, you know what I like about my coffee? It has a filter.
Yay! Hey, yeah. That's good.
Thank you.
That's
you got
good.
some.
No, well, like now it seems like it's not even that big a deal. But the word suck.
Oh, yeah.
Has become, sucks or stinks. And for most of the time, it was always like, kids would say, that would really suck. Stink. That's what
Steve would do. Just react. Stink.
And say, that really stinks. And just kind of not even say it again. Just, you mean stink like that, just kind of go along with it.
Mm-hmm. Because ultimately, you're teaching them a skill. it's not don't think of it as a behavior issue. It's not like they're poorly behaving because they're swearing. They just don't have the skill yet of filtering.
Yes.
You're teaching them the skill. And sometimes you run it back. Sometimes you just pop it in. Just like if they were playing and it wasn't short enough, you say staccato.
Yep.
Stink. Staccato. It's the same
yeah,
thing.
Just move on.
Just
right.
move on.
That's it. That's going back to Jack's core. You're teaching no, I'm going to mess it up. A behavior. No, you're teaching a skill, not a behavior.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's.
And
are
I'm
teaching
sure
a skill, and it, public school is a little funny because we're all coming into the same building, and we're trying to agree on similar expectations to make our little community flow.
Yep.
And it's like the DMV. We all come from different backgrounds, and we have different expectations, and we're focusing on a few behaviors and making sure that we can try to get this group, this living organism, like working together.
Yeah. And, not every teacher has to have exactly 100% the same verbatim expectations
Right.
about your behavior or whatever, because some teachers are more tolerant of certain things. I myself have two different expectations for two different classes. I want my jazz bands to be a little more talkative.
Mm-hmm.
I do not want my marching band kids to be more talkative.
Right.
They serve different purposes. And the kids know I'm a different teacher, or I have different expectations. How's that for my jazz kids versus my marching band kids?
Absolutely.
But they understand why.
Absolutely.
And that's fine. And every teacher has different expectations, and the kids just kind of fit that mold when they need to, right?
Yep.
And, some kids are figuring out what they can get away with, so to speak, with certain teachers and what they can't. And it's our job to figure out where we want that line to be. And if kids cross it, how do we bring them back?
How do we bring it back?
I.e., don't take the bait.
Right.
Bring them back, but don't take the bait.
Right.
We should have people write in
Their
their stories of taking the bait.
Well, exactly. I think of my early years of teaching similar to yours.
Boy, I'll knock your block off.
I'm sure you could. It's just like,
Now we sing a simple song. Is that what it was?
yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Or my kid trying to ignore me while he was racking up his chair when I got
Yeah.
shoved over.
Yeah.
Dude, if ninth year Jack saw that happen, be like, you're such an idiot. You
You're
deserve
an
that.
idiot,
You
yeah.
deserve that. What do you
Yeah.
think's going to happen? Ah,
So how do you get to those teachers or to those humans to encourage them to think differently about handling conflict?
at them in the comments right now.
God,
Name
really?
drop.
Well, it's
That was a joke. Don't do that.
okay.
Oh, he's got
Yesterday-
something. He's got it.
Yesterday,
Yes.
Meyer. Oh, Saturday and Sunday both at Meyer. But Jacob was going back to school, so we
Okay.
got him back to school stuff.
Okay.
And we were in the self-checkout line, and there was like a woman that had a hard time bringing up the right price. Something was going on,
Okay.
right? And so middle age, a little bit elderly kind of age bracket. The young cashier comes up and said, okay, I put this back on here. I put the price back on that you wanted. And then the woman just goes, well, what about these other ones over here? Just like immediately, like went into this next mode. And the woman, the cashier, was like, it'll be fine. And I just think like, it's so easy to like take the bait.
Yeah.
Because, what am I supposed to do about this? And the cashier goes, well, this is the store's policy. So you can either do that or get out. You're probably trained as a cashier, as a customer service, employee to work those things out and not take the bait. But,
Well, okay, not to be that guy, but I'm going there. Social media has not helped because bait taking equals clicks,
Yes.
right? And if you're on a screen or behind a screen, there's very few consequences.
Oh,
And then people want to live their life that way, and then suddenly there are consequences, and they're like, I didn't sign up for this. But, like, you would never, like, I'm just thinking about, like, road rage. Could you imagine if we were all pedestrians and we acted the way we do when we road rage? Have you ever thought about that? That'd be like, it's the same concept. But very good that this woman working at Meijer was like, no, we're not doing
we're not going to do that. But that energy, like itching for a fight, like if you're itching for a fight as a teacher, you're going to lose.
Yeah, the kids call that rage baiting.
Yeah,
Have you heard that term? They rage bait you?
I can see it happening.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that.
Yeah.
But there's got to be that clutch in there, and please don't take the bait. Please don't take the bait. It's much better for your health. It's better for the students' health in the long run. It's better for the school community. There's ways of de-escalating and taking away those behaviors without a negative confrontation.
It's true. Well said.
Thank
Well
you.
said.
Thank you so much.
So if you got stories about taking the bait, send them in.
Yeah, if you have stories, we can share as a community. Let's lift each other up through our failure. So many times that we've been trolled as teachers and taken it, and then realize a time later, like, we got set up.
So, but here's the thing, though, the important thing. There may be people listening to this and thinking, I didn't take the bait. He deserved it.
Bait taker.
Right? Like, isn't that,
Yeah.
like, there are people that could be listening and be like, that wasn't me. I did that.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, I don't know, but self-reflection. Let's see if that was necessary or
I
not.
like it.
Okay, I got to go eat some dinner.
Okay.
That's what's going on.
Well, hit the click the bait, hit the like, hit the subscribe, give us a comment, throw us a disagreement, whatever.
Troll us.
Troll us.
You can drop. We've
give us the bait.
We've
okay?
been given bait before.
Yeah. We enjoy your interaction in our Chops community and enjoy talking about these
No
things.
such thing as bad publicity.
Nothing. So for Steve Peterson,
Jack Hinkle.
we're out of here.
See ya.